Welcome to British Focus. United Kingdom this week's biggest political shock? The suspension of Rupert Lowe from the Reform Party. We've seen statements, but now it's time for a face-to-face interview. In today's video, Richard Tice is put on the spot and grilled about the controversy. Why did it take so long for action? What does this mean for the party? Stay tuned to find out. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Now, let's get into the video.
A complaint was made to the Metropolitan Police on the 13th of December last year about Mr. Lowe's behaviour. Why has it taken so long for you to do anything about it?
Well, actually, there's been, with regard to the complaint that was made by the chairman's ear, Yusuf, actually there's more than one instance, there's 2 threats. But the key thing is this is actually very sad. It's very unfortunate. And
I want to get onto that, but it just seems 3 months is quite a long time for you to realise that you have an undesirable in your midst.
There's been a variety of instances, and you have to make difficult judgments through the process. But of course it's unfortunate, of course it's difficult. But there are these allegations of bullying by 2 separate female members of staff to the parliamentary authorities. Those clearly have to be dealt with in the proper, responsible way. We've also got a duty of care as a party, whether people are employed directly or indirectly. So that's why the chairman has instructed an independent investigation by a KC. That's the right and proper thing to do. That will run its course. We'd all rather that this happened. But imagine if we hadn't been open and transparent about this. Imagine if we tried to brush it under the carpet and in some way cover it up. And then it came out at a future time. Everybody would have been raging at us.
The party has made a big deal of your being defenders of free speech. This all feels a bit Putinesque, doesn't it?
Far from it, and that's completely inappropriate. The reality is, behind the scenes, there had been a number of difficulties and challenges, and you get to the point where you say enough's enough, and particularly when you get these allegations of bullying by female staff, and you then get to the point where you've got to launch an investigation. And the chairman's made difficult decisions, and we fully support what he's done on this. And I say there were further allegations. And in a sense, you saw this pattern of behaviour when literally the last moment of the House sitting just before Christmas, I was in the chamber at the adjournment debate, and there was a very unfortunate scene that was briefly reported at the time, but not really picked up. And that was an example. And it was
this
pretty
is Mr.
uncomfortable.
Lowe's confrontation with Mike
Cain, the minister, in the House of Commons, and it was dealt with by the Speaker's office, and Rupert had to apologise quite properly. But it was a bad moment, and I think just an indication of the challenges that we'd faced.
The part of the division seems to be the question of whether the Reform Party is a party which has a series of personalities, has a structure, a culture of its own, or whether it is, in effect, a one-man band. Would Reform be anywhere near as successful as you're telling me it is without Nigel Farage?
Well, let me remind you that actually it was me that took the party from 0 to about 15%, and then I was delighted that Nigel wanted to get stuck back into politics.
Why did you move over if you were so successful?
Because
he was old news.
Because Nigel's the most experienced, most successful, most recognised politician in the country, and I knew that that would help drive it forwards. We didn't know the pace at which that would happen, but look, we're united, we're working incredibly hard. It's important to be united, and that's why we had to make that difficult decision. Sometimes life is not perfect. None of us are perfect. None of us never make mistakes. But stuff happens, but let's be absolutely clear. We've got to work the hardest, we've got to get the best candidates and the best policies, and if we keep doing that, we'll do well in these May elections, well next May in the devolved nation elections.
I do want to ask you a question about policy, but honestly, there's history here, isn't there? Something like this happened the Brexit Party. Something like this always happens with Nigel Farage. No doubt, great communicator, big presence and so on, but every party he's been in has founded on
Are you suggesting that there haven't been sort of personality issues between other parties and people?
Yeah, I'm not talking about other. I'm not talking to other parties. I'm talking to you.
You are indeed. But here's the point: No one thought we could get to 25, 26, 27% in the polls, 7% ahead of the Tories as of a poll yesterday. Look, we're doing well. Is it difficult? Yes. Is it right to have scrutiny? Of course it is, because we're suggesting that we could run the country better than the other lot. So that's fair and easy, and we're delighted to have that scrutiny.
So, what do you think? Has the Reform Party handled this properly? Or is this another case of political damage control? The delay in action raises serious questions about accountability and internal conflicts. Is this a free speech issue or a necessary decision? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on British politics. Thanks for watching British Focus. See you in the next one.